thank you everyone for taking time to listen to our presentation today. We are passionate about real estate and always unlocking what we see as great opportunities or looking where great opportunities are. So today's presentation is why buy MIMICO. And I'll start off with a little bit of information on myself. My name's Alex J. Wilson, owner and broker record at Remax Wealth Builders Real Estate. Been selling real estate in Toronto for over 11 years. Number one Remax agent in Ontario for individual transactions in 2019. I actually need to update these stats because these stats just came out last week, but for 2020, it was actually number 13 Remax agent in Canada and number 34 worldwide. Inducted in the Remax Hall of Fame and awarded the Remax Lifetime Achievement Award at 35. I'm currently 39 years old. But that's not why I'm here. Why I'm here is to show you about investing. And that's what I've had a lot of success in. So my first investment condo was at Queen and Gladstone, and that required a deposit of $39,300. And I've turned that into a $14 million portfolio, which includes 14 condos, a High Park triplex, and an apartment building in Hamilton. So whenever I start these presentations, I show people my portfolio because I want to show them why they're investing and the benefits of investing and the benefits of holding real estate over a long period of time. So this is my entire portfolio, so everything I own. Total current market value, it's just under $15 million. There are mortgages on these properties, so that's not the net, that's the gross value. But the amazing thing is the value of time when you apply time to this calculation. So in 30 years, my portfolio, I estimate will be worth $36 million. What I've done is I did a 3% annual compounded growth rate. So my real estate goes up 3% per year, which has been going up more. But if it goes up 3% per year, this is how much it's going to be worth. But the beautiful thing is that there'll be no mortgages anymore on the property because there's been a tenant paying them down this entire time. And that's the beauty of owning real estate. Someone else is paying your expenses. And it's really a long game that pays off. So we looked at the portfolios can be worth what it's going to be worth in 30 years. Then I also look at inflation. So that nasty word that we hear a lot in the media today, inflation. So I plop the $36 million in my inflation calculator, which on Stats Canada website. So what's a $36 million portfolio going to be worth if I looked at it over the last 30 years? Well, be looking at today's purchasing power in today's dollars would be the equivalent of $21 million. So in 30 years, I'll have $21 million, the equivalent of $21 million, that purchasing power, and someone else paid down the mortgage and covered all the costs of that. Then I went one step further. I said, well, what if I looked at this as a pension fund and I put my pension fund hat on? And I'm like, well, if I have an asset that's worth $21 million, just for everything's simplicity. So for simplicity's sake, let's say I want to make a 5% return on my $21 million asset. Typically, people are looking at their retirement portfolio, they want to earn 67%. I just put 5% conservative. Well, 5% times 20,815,000 is over $1 million per year. That's a lot of money. I don't need that much money per year. Then I want to reinvest 2% of that to protect against inflation. Now I've built generational wealth where this portfolio is self-sustaining. I can live off the income it's providing, and I can make sure the portfolio is still growing in value, protecting it against inflation. So that means I will get a salary of just under $625,000 per year in 30 years. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is amazing. I built my own pension fund. Now it may seem daunting for you, but here's the thing. You don't need that much per year. So I broke it down into smaller bite-sized increments. So if you have $1 million portfolio today, you in 30 years, you can generate $70,000 a year off of that portfolio. And if you want to protect the balance of that, protect the principal balance of that, I'd recommend you take $42,000 per year. If you have a $2 million portfolio today, you'll be able to draw $140,000 salary from that, or my recommended $84,000. $3,210,000 recommended payout 126. Why I do this slide is that everyone on this call can start and build the 1 million, do 2 million, 3 million. You don't need to build a nearly $15 million portfolio to achieve pension fund status that you can live off of in your future. So a really powerful concept that I discovered when I was analyzing my own portfolio that I like to share with people before we get into, well, what should we buy? So why buy Mimico? Well, master planned community, if you watched a lot of our past videos, we love master planned communities. Master planned communities mean there is significant density that's going in, and there's going to be future phases that are going to be launched at higher prices. So you really have profit built in when you get in on the ground floor of the initial phases. Connectivity, literally being built on top of a GO train station, this whole development, and the GO train station is being redeveloped. You also have easy access to the the Gardner Expressway. Park space, we'll get into all the park space in the area, including a 12-acre park that's currently being developed right now by the City of Toronto. The value and affordability play, so we'll show you the value compared to the current market, and then the future upside that we see as well. So the master plan community. This, what you see here, I just took a screen capture of the entire development. It's going to be 9 towers and nearly 3,250 units. So these are the 9 towers here. And then the first tower will be the farthest east. The first towers being launched, 3 towers, be the farthest east. So this transformational project will encompass over 2 million square feet of mixed-use development that spans over 4 city blocks and 9 proposed towers. Of that, 1.85 million square feet of that will be new residential living, so people, roofs over heads, as we like to say. 200,000 square feet of commercial and employment space, so making this a hub as well for individuals, not just for residents, but thinking of the retail and commercial component as well, office space. And the great thing is this area of Mimico Triangle has been recognized as a priority regeneration area by the City of Toronto and covers 55 acres. So what that means is that the city is going to fast track approvals in this area because they want to improve this area. So we're not worried about buildings not being built, or we'll get more into the developer later, VANDYK Properties. We're not worried about buildings not getting built because they're getting tied up in approvals or various things. These buildings already through the approval stage and fast track through the approval stage. And the benefit to you is the faster these buildings get up, the lower cost they end up being, because you're seeing significant increases in material and labor costs for these buildings, and that's leading to increased pricing and pre-construction. So the connectivity. Well, the connectivity, Grand Central Mimico, that's the entire development, the 9 towers, is the first development that has signed an agreement with Metrolinx for a transit-oriented community. So they're bound by contract with Metrolinx to build a community that is focused on transit. It's a transit-oriented community. What this means, it means new modern reconstruction of MIMICO GO Station, integrated access points for the building to easily access the MIMICO GO Station. It's going to be, the GO train line will be connected to the future Ontario line exhibition stadium. So what that means is you can easily take the GO train to the Ontario line and then access the city with the Ontario line, or you can just take the GO train directly to Union Station. It'll only be an 11-minute commute from downtown and a 15-minute commute to the financial district. So really easy, even though you are in Etobicoke and you're in the Mimico area, easy through this transit connectivity with this GO train station, which is literally going to be built on top of, to easily get downtown Toronto and easily get to Union Station in the financial district. So you can have your space and your affordability of living outside of the core, but you can easily get into the core for your work and entertainment. And also on top of that, you have easy access to the Gardner Expressway. And what I've seen over the years is that people have used this area as a middle ground. So if you're a couple, let's say one individual works downtown, but the other individual works in, let's say, Mississauga. Well, it's a horrible commute from getting downtown to Mississauga every day. So what we've seen is that people will find a middle ground and they'll circle in around this Mimico area because you can easily get downtown via the GO train. And now we're outside of the congestion of the core. Anyone that works in Mississauga can easily get on the QEW and drive up the 427 or get deeper into Mississauga along the QEW or get into Oakville or other areas as well. So it's a fantastic centralized space for individuals that work downtown, get downtown in 11 to 15 minutes. And then for the individual that works in the GTA, easy for them to access the highway system beyond the congestion and then get to their offices there. So it's a great central location for individuals that are looking for both that connectivity. And then this is a line that we took. This is from Phil Verster, the Metrolinx president and CEO. We are pleased to partner with VANDYK to deliver an expanded and accessible MIMICO GO station, making it easier and faster for our customers to get to places that matter most, bringing jobs, destinations, and housing closer to transit. And this is what really stuck out to me. The station at 315-327 Royal York will service the expected threefold increase in daily ridership at the station by 2031. That 3 seems like it's a long time away, but that's only 10 years. A better customer experience is on the way. So, and what's really relevant here is that the condos by Humber Bay on the waterfront, they're too far from the MIMICO GO station for it to really be a viable transit solution for them. So these condos are the ones that are going to be the transit connected units, easy for people to get to downtown in this location. And that is going to drive pricing up because people want to easily be able to get downtown. Park space. So during COVID, green space took a whole nother value. We've been stuck in our homes, stuck in our condos. Green space has been a real savior for individuals. Well, there's a real lack of green space in certain areas in Toronto, and specifically in downtown Toronto. This is not the case for MIMICO. So I also saw during the pandemic when we had resale listings in MIMICO, we had people leaving the core. They don't want to leave Toronto. They love living in Toronto, but they didn't want to be in the density of the core anymore. So they went to this nice area that's within arm's reach of downtown because they wanted more space. They wanted that green space. They wanted to be in Toronto, but just not in the thick of it because of the current situation. So this area has significant amount of park space. So the future park space that's being developed, you're going to have a future kilometer and a quarter greenway along this whole MIMICO triangle regeneration area. You're going to have a multi-use path along the rail corridor with new pedestrian bridge overpasses over the railway tracks. And what that's going to do is that's going to significantly cut down the time for you to walk to the waterfront. So you don't need to go all the way around to Royal York. So you're looking at now, you can probably walk to the waterfront in about 10 minutes from this location once that pedestrian link overpass is over the rail corridor. And then you have a 12-acre active sports field currently under construction by the City of Toronto, Grand Avenue Park. We're not waiting for this to be done down the road. This is under construction right now. You can drive by the site. They're currently doing the leveling off of the fields. So you're going to have a 12-acre sports field as your next door neighbor. Again, key for those individuals that are looking for that outdoor lifestyle. Key for those families that are looking for affordability, that want to take their kids to run around places. My wife and I, where we live in an area called the West Bend, which is kind of sandwiched between Roncy, the Junction, and High Park. We have all these parks around us. And the parks, we don't want to leave our neighborhood because of all the park space. it's a great place for us to bring our young kids to. And we factor in like, well, how long is it going to take us to walk to a park? And the green space and the park space is so important for young families and the mental health of individuals, just to get outside and enjoy the green space that Toronto has to offer. And then we're not just waiting for that stuff to come. There's stuff that is existing. You have Manchester Park, a huge green space that's just south of the Mimico, just south and east of the MIMICO GO station, just south of the tracks. You have Superior Park on the waterfront. So when you get that pedestrian bridge, right now it's about a 20-minute walk. You get that pedestrian bridge, that'll get cut down to about 10 minutes. You have Mimico Waterfront Park. You have Humber Bay. And as I said, under a 10-minute walk when the pedestrian overpass is completed. So you're going to have this great existing park space and new park space being added on. So to complement that condo living, a place where you guys can get out and enjoy yourselves. And then value and affordability. So I did a dive in just to get some ideas in regards to resale market trends. So looking at new condo buildings, so this will be a new condo building. So we looked at Jade on the waterfront, only a 2-year-old condo building, relatively new. The average price per square foot in that building is now over $1,019 per square foot. And that's in a softer period. This is over the last 12 months, in a softer period for condos. So you're already achieving over $1,000 per square foot in the Mimico area for new buildings. That exists right now. And we've seen, and the great thing is, so even in a down market, we saw the new product, we saw the pricing jump by over 11% in that area. So as people did leave the core and look for other alternatives, we saw prices increase there, and we expect that to continue in this area. And then when I looked at just how much would it cost if I want a house in this area? Well, we're looking at renovated detached homes over the last 30 days. We see 92 Hillsdale right here. So this is where we see Mimico Grand Central Station right there. So number one, obviously very close to this location, sold for renovated detached 1.625 million. 53 Albany, it sold for 1.5 million right here. And then we got complete new build, and we're dealing with brand new complete new build condos. Number 3, probably the closest walking distance here because we're north of the tracks here. $1.735 million for a brand new build detached home. Where's the affordability? How many young families can afford that? Well, they can't. So what's the alternative is going to be for them? They could move all the way out to Bowmanville, Oshawa, and then they'll have a terrible commute into the city. Or what about that individual that works in Mississauga? The commute from Whitby, Oshawa, that would be horrendous going to Mississauga, for example. So where's that young couple, where's that starter family going to live, where they want a little more space, they want green space, they don't want to be downtown anymore? Well, the detached market a renovated detached market is out of grasp for them. So what are their options if they want something new, clean, no maintenance? Well, that's where condos become the option, and they want the connectivity to transit. And that's where we see huge potential in Mimico Grand Central. It'll be literally the closest condos to the GO train station because they're going to be built on top of it. And that's going to draw huge premiums in the future for those young families that want that connectivity and space. And then future upside. Well, it's going to be the first ever transit-oriented community agreement with Metrolink. So again, focused on transit. How are people going to get around? That's a massive upside for this. You get the new GO train station with that, which is going to have more access points. The more access points, the ability for people to quickly get to the station and in the station, that puts extra value on this location. Getting in on the ground level of a multi-phase development of over 3,250 units. There is always built-in profit because the future phases will be selling for more. We're going to get into the next part of this. We'll be getting into what what the current phase is going to be and what the future phases are. And you get the 12-acre new park space currently under development and more green space being added. So all the things that you're looking for when we look at investment, we look at transit, we look at location, and we look at what's the upside of the area and the green space in the area. And this checks off all the boxes that we look for when we're looking at an investment. So phase one is the Buckingham, and it's a 3-building launch. The first building will be in the North Tower, second building Central, third building the South Tower. So it's 751 condo units across the 3 towers. So again, if anyone has any questions, they can ask it in the question and answer box at the bottom. So 751 condo units across the 3 towers, 20,000 square feet of retail space anchored by a grocery store and restaurants, 30,000 square feet of office space, and each tower will have its own private entrance and secure lobby. So that's your phase one of the development. The amenities, you'll have a social club with sports lounge, golf simulator, movie theater rooms, outdoor terrace, and party dining rooms, professional co-working space. So what I see in the future is definitely people going back to the office, being a father and having a young family. I'm already going to the office now, and a lot of my people in my demographic where I talk to them, they're very excited to go back to the office. So you're going to have people migrating back to the office when offices when they open up. But there will be still a working from home component. That is going to be a legacy of everything that happened during COVID. So there is a nice flexibility that comes from working from home. You lose the innovation, the learning experiences by working on our own little islands at home. So that's why we're all going to go back to the office, but there is efficiencies from working from home when you need to focus in on a task without disruption. So that's where the professional co-working spaces are going to be very important in the future as people work from home more. Maybe they'll work from home 1 to 2 days a week, and then they'll be office 3 to 4 days a week. The co-working spaces will be important for individuals when they're on their home working days. You have a 7,500 square foot wellness center featuring gym, yoga studio, steam room, massage therapy rooms, and lounge. Each tower will have its private entrance, secure lobby, as I mentioned. And then each tower will feature an landscape amenity terrace with seating, cabana lounge, fire pit, barbecue stations, and al fresco dining. So within the buildings, you're going to have outdoor amenity space, which is going to be so important, including the barbecue spaces for individuals. And to get an idea, just sharing, we just got these yesterday, which is exciting, perfect timing for this presentation. Here's the Keyplate for the units. They'll give you an idea of what the unit mix is going to look like and the square footage of the units. So you'll have 2 bedrooms, you'll have 1 bedroom plus dens in the first tower. And then in the second tower, you will have the 1 bedrooms. You'll have, I think there is 1 studio in there. There is a studio going all the way up to 3 bedrooms in this location. Great layouts when you look at these. Look at these. We're looking at windows in the bedrooms, something that we don't see as much in downtown. You look at the 2 bedrooms. Look at that nice split layout, 2 bedrooms, again, with windows in both bedrooms. They're not sharing a wall. Great for young families or 2 people that are sharing a space living together. Or again, if we're talking about the couple, where you got 1 person working there and another person working here, you don't necessarily want to hear their conference call. They have an early morning conference call and you're trying to sleep. So you get that separation in these 2 bedroom units, which is great. So incredible layouts in this building. Even the 3 bedroom layout, look at that. Every bedroom has a window. Very, very rare. So if you're raising a young family here, everyone's got a window, which is great. So phase 1, the Buckingham, it's again being built by VANDYK Properties. VANDYK Properties is a privately owned real estate development and investment management company with over 40 years of experience in the North American real estate property sector. They do work in the GTA and down in Florida. they do a lot in the Mississauga, Etobicoke area. So really very well known locally in those areas. And they've already done $1 billion worth of development and have $1 billion worth of owned assets. So they're very well secured builder. If you've ever driven on Erin Mills and QEW, when you get off the QEW at Erin Mills, you'll see the big VANDYK sign. That's where their office is, right there at Erin Mills and QEW, just north of that phase. So give you an idea of how this is rolling out. The official launch date for the project is March 30th. That's when pricing and floor plans will be coming out. We were able to, again, secure the Keyplate to give you an idea what the layout to look like and what the sizing of the units will look like. They're going to start with launching the North Tower. So the North Tower is going to have, if I go back here, it's going with a traditional heritage look. So that's where you're getting the all brick building here to kind of back to the old industrial side of, or a nod to the industrial nature of this original area. So you get this beautiful brick style building, very, very unique for the area. A nice contrast against all of the glass towers. So your north, your smallest building, your brick building, which will have definitely a loft feel to it. Then you'll have, let me go back here. Then you have your central building that'll come next. So the first and second building will be launched fairly quickly, 1 and 2. And then once you complete that, then they'll get into the third building, which is the farthest south in the development. Units will be launched in batches over 6 to 8 weeks. So phase 1, which is 751 units, that's going to be launched over 6 to 8 weeks in various batches. The great news is if everyone wants one, everyone can get a unit. There's going to be something for everyone, whether you want to be in that brick building, which is going to give you that heritage feel, you want something unique space, or if you want to be in that south building with the best possible views overlooking the water, or if you're in the central building, looking at a nice price point for a specific unit, there is going to be something for everyone. We dealt with the sales and marketing team, the same sales and marketing team that launched Galleria, and we were able to secure our clients' requests over a real 6-week period as they rolled out their units in the development. And we saw people make, they probably have $100,000 from when Galleria initially launched into their current phase right now, and seeing what existing inventory is selling in phase 1 and phase 2. So because this is phase 1 launching, anyone that buys over the next 6 to 8 weeks, they're getting built-in profit, because the future second and third phases with another 2,500 units will be priced higher. There's 9 towers coming in. This is just the first 3. So if you get in that first 6 to 8 week period, you're guaranteed built-in profit. I've seen it happen in Galleria. The exact same thing is gonna be happening here. So if you're really interested in the project, book a one-on-one call with me. A link to book a call will be in the recap email that's sent out. We'll get an idea of what your preference is and what you're looking for, and we can answer some more direct questions. And when pricing and floor plans are released, you'll be able to complete our suite request form. So if you do have any questions currently for me right now, you can ask them in the Q&A box. It looks like we have some coming up right now, so I'm just going to open that up. Okay, here we go. Will units cash flow with early access? I'd expect them to cash flow. I'm still going to have to work out the numbers on them, but I expect them to cash flow. In regards to understanding what the price point is going to be, it's going to be probably averaging around $1,100 per square foot, which is in line with the current resale market, where we saw Jade condos selling for the area is already achieving over $1,000 per square foot in the resale markets. So someone asking here from the recent projects I've seen post-COVID. Well, if you looked at the Keyplate, these are usable spaces. If we look at the 2-bedroom units, you have the split 2-bedroom layout with windows in both bedrooms. Excellent spaces for individuals to work in. From the recent project, okay, that's how would you compare this project to Brightwater? Brightwater, great location personally, bought in Brightwater, another master plan community, bought in the first launch of units. So whenever I get into a master plan community, I want to get in right at the ground floor. The areas are definitely different. What you have here is you're just closer to the downtown core. So you're in Toronto versus Brightwater's in Mississauga. It's an easier drive to downtown Toronto than Brightwater will be. Brightwater has the prestige of being a beautiful location right on the water. This location has the prestige of being right on top of a GO train station. So they really are different. But the one thing that I can say they have the same is that the local communities, anyone that's in Mimico has been asking me, like, oh, Alex, I want more details on this project. I want to continue to invest in my community. The same thing with Brightwater. A lot of locals that lived in the Mineola Port Credit area is they wanted to continue and invest and buy an affordable piece in their neighborhood. Occupancy on these, you're going to be realistically expecting 2024, 2025, 2026. In regards to the people are asking the rental numbers, I haven't worked out the full rental calculations yet, but also part of that is going to be irrelevant because the market is going to be very, very different in 2024, 2025, 2026 when these buildings are going to be completed. But I would expect these to cash flow, or at least cash flow neutral, based on my general understanding what the rents on the area are and what the pricing will be. I'm just seeing if I've missed any other questions here. I think I clarified those. So anyways, yeah, pricing and floor plans are going to be coming out March 30th. The launch is going to be occurring over a 6 to 8 week period. So if you do have interest, book a call with me and we'll figure out what makes the most sense for you, which building, which batch of units. We'll be very, very happy to share that with you. There's going to be a recap of this sent out to everyone. So we do record this. So the recap email will be going out roughly about 24 hours after this webinar is complete. That's where you'll have a link to book a one-on-one call with me to discuss how to get in this project directly. And again, we'll have you can ask more direct questions with me, whether it's rental numbers and various things. And then we'll share this video recording and the suite request form as well. But I would say very important, book a one-on-one call with me, just so again, we can figure out what makes the most sense for you if you want to, if it makes sense for you to move forward with this project. So thank you everyone for attending. I'll let you get back to your days now and we'll talk to everyone soon. Okay, bye-bye.